Hi everyone. Me, personally, I'm a little slut for concerts, okay? My grandma asked me to stop saying the word fuck and cursing in my videos, but I don't think she knows what the word slut means, so I think it has a pass. Sorry, Bobchat, you can't be mad at me. You literally taught me how to curse in Polish. Anyway, I am a slut for concerts.
It is my little happy place, okay? But not in like a weird, oh my god, I love raves and EDM concerts.
Like, no offense to those people, but like full offense also. You're probably much happier than I am as a person. It might just be all the Molly that you're taking, but I want to be as happy as you guys look during those fucking weekends. I'm a very claustrophobic person. I found that out when I was little and I got put into an elevator, and also when I was in like the McDonald's little tubes. Bad, very bad. I hate being touched. I hate being in crowds. I hate being rubbed on. I hate other people's sweat on me. I hate being within 4 feet of a man. But at concerts, I suddenly have zero anxiety, and none of those things bother me anymore. And maybe they should. However, post-COVID, COVID is still happening, but I don't know what to call it. It's not post-pandemic. It's not post-COVID. Okay, like, let's just call it the delusional times. That's what we're in currently. We're being delusional right now. We are in the delusional era. I just noticed that some concerts lack the nice lust and shine that it once had, okay? When I was little and I was in Sunday school, my Sunday school teacher, who was named Miss Sunny, which wasn't even her name, it was a lie, so that's a sin. She pulled me aside when I was like 11 or 12, and she's like, Nicole, the sparkle in your eyes is gone. Which is like so sad to say to an 11-year-old. Like, I'm supposed to be losing the sparkle in my eyes right now at the age of 22, okay? Not before I even got my period yet or anything, at the age of like 11, all right? But that's how I feel about concerts nowadays. It lost the little sparkle in its eye before it even got its period, all right? It's sad. My stomach used to drop and I'd get butterflies before like the main artist would come on stage. And now I just know that was like raging IBS and I needed to take a couple Tums, okay? My first ever concert was Macklemore. I was at the Roots picnic when I was like 12. I momentarily got the sparkle and shine in my eye back for that moment. I was absolutely infatuated with that man ever since he made the song Same Love. Like, what straight girl gets so affected about a song about marriage equality, okay? My defensive ass was like,
I'm an ally. I'm just like Macklemore.
no, you were in love with Poussey from Orange is the New Black. It's okay to say it. It's all right, Nicole. It was at this whole music festival, which is like a crazy first experience, that my first concert was a music festival, and I showed up like 6 hours before he was even on stage. So I saw every single opener. I saw Grimes before she was a capitalist. I saw Solange before I even know that she was Beyonce's sister. She makes really good eye contact, and I remember that still. Like, it's been 10 years, and I don't know, no one has ever looked at me the same way as Solange. Anyway, I literally stood at the barricade for all these hours waiting for Macklemore to come, in the sun, no food, no water. And I was so embarrassing of a person back then as like a concert goer. I was like screaming way more than I should have been. I cried because he came out and like touched everyone's hand and I didn't get to touch it. Smart Water was also like sponsoring the whole entire event. So there was only Smart Water bottles around. And I remember at one point Macklemore threw his water bottle out into the stage and I didn't catch it. But when we were like leaving and the crowd was dispersing, I saw one Smart Water bottle on the ground. It could have been fucking anyone's, but me and all my friends convinced ourselves that it was his, and I kept it and I collected it until like last year when I finally got the guts to throw it away, okay? But speaking of sponsors, thank you so much, Curology, for sponsoring today's video. I've been using Curology for about 2.5 years now, and you guys know that I am in love with Curology, and I actually do use it. Curology is powered by real people. A licensed dermatology provider analyzes your skin to understand exactly what is right for you. And where else can you get custom skincare from a pro who actually sees you? This is my little custom formula bottle. I thought that would go a lot smoother. This has been a staple in my nighttime routine for years now. Hotties use hydrocolloid patches on their pimples, okay? And I'm so happy that Curology has finally launched their own sunscreen. I've been wanting this for so long. Of course, Curology has made it kind to acne-prone skin, and it's SPF 30. There is no white cast, and it also has a fresh finish. Once I learned the importance of sunscreen and using it daily, I have used this religiously at the end of my skincare routine in the morning, every single day, no matter what I am doing that day. I got my boyfriend onto it, I got my mom onto it, and now it's time for me to get you onto it. I love that this can just be added to your monthly subscription box for an additional $7. If you do not use sunscreen and you have not found a sunscreen that you love, take this as your sign. Okay. Connect with a licensed dermatology provider in your state today. Just take the quiz in the link in my description and start your free month trial. Just pay $5, shipping and handling, subscription required. Thank you so much, Curology. Now, at the age of 22, I've been to plenty of concerts. Shitty ones, really, really good ones that I'm not even proud to admit how much I paid for. Prior to COVID and post-COVID, our current times, the delusional era, things have just changed. It feels good to be back. Like, everyone was so excited, especially during COVID. Everyone was like hyping up how good concerts were gonna feel like once we could be in a crowd again. But it just doesn't hit the same. And I wanted to take a little dive, a little skinny dip, if you will, into the topic and try and discover why that is. Why the heck do concerts kind of suck recently? If you want my initial response, then it's gonna be, it's these damn kids and their damn phones. And then I remember I am one of the damn kids with my damn phone, okay? Then my mind jumps to the tragic Travis Scott incident. On November 5th, 2021, a fatal crowd crush occurred during the first night of the 2021 Astroworld Festival, a music event founded by American rapper Travis Scott that was held at the Energy Park in Houston, Texas. 8 people died on the night of the concert, and 2 more died in the hospital over the following days. The cause of death for most of these folks was compressive asphyxiation. Essentially, the crowd was so jam-packed and overfilled, people were trampled to death. And this isn't the first time that something like this has happened at huge events, but it is one of the first times that it's actually been recorded by the crowd for social media to see live.
Astroworld experience.
In real time, we were watching people be toppled over, injured, scared. People were even recording dead bodies and posting it online without knowing they were dead at the time. It was so disgusting and scary to watch. I remember being on TikTok and on Twitter and just seeing the updates and the videos, and it was horrific. Travis is still under investigation, and the entire situation is, but his name is forever tainted, at least to me, for sure, because of the way that he responded to the situation during and after. Not only did he encourage people to continue to rage, as he was seeing people pass out and need help.
Open that shit up. Right side, open that shit up. In the middle, open that shit up. I did not get on a plane. I did not fly here to fucking sit around, baby. I came here to fucking rap! Turn the lights on. I want to see these motherfuckers. Oh my God, it's about to get bloody. Oh my God. Yeah. Chase B!
But then he followed up with like the shittiest apology in air quotes, on social media that I've ever seen. It's embarrassing.
Send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. I could just never imagine the severity of the situation.
Clementine's gonna take over the rest of the video, so you're doing good. So this definitely set the tone differently for how artists responded to these types of situations moving forward. For example, Billie Eilish, shortly after the incident, stopped her set because someone needed help.
I wait for people to be okay until I keep going.
And she received so much backlash from Travis Scott fans, but then Kanye fucking West, like, who was surprised by that? Yeah, telling her to apologize for what? I don't fucking know. She didn't even mention him at all. She just said that, like, we stop shows when people need help. Almost every single concert that I've been to since November 5th, the show has had to be stopped at one point or another because people needed water or people needed help because they were passing out or were getting sick, whatever. It seems like artists are almost more conscientious of the crowd and like it's a new responsibility that they have to take on to make sure that security comes and helps them. Some of the past shows that I've seen this happen is The Garden, Claro, and Joy. Claro multiple times. At the Claro show, which I was just at, multiple times the show had to be stopped because people were passing out and needing water immediately, or people needed to get pulled out of the crowd. And I feel like it's never been truly this bad.
Sorry, can you stop? Is everyone okay over there? Let's get them some help over there.
Thank you for taking care of us.
Someone get them some water.
And it feels like since the Travis Scott situation, maybe it's the crowd knowing their limits and, you know, being more comfortable to ask for help, and the crowd, you know, making a bigger effort to get the artist's attention for help. Or maybe it's the artist kind of making it more of a big deal and making it their responsibility to get the crowd some help, even if that means stopping a song midway. I asked you guys on Instagram if you guys have been to any shows lately where things were just not that great, whether it was the artist or the crowd or the venue. So you guys responded. Follow me on Instagram. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. Elizabeth said, I went to see the Wallows recently. Worst crowd I've ever experienced. Ever since Astroworld, people have respected each other's space at concerts. At this one, before the opener even came on, people got so close to each other you didn't have room to move. During the first song, Wallows played, they had to stop the show because someone was full on punching someone else in the crowd. When people started jumping and dancing to one song, the people behind us pushed and almost knocked down people so they couldn't get closer to the front. Not to mention the venue was so hot, 2 people passed out. People getting this fucking rowdy at the Wallows show? This is the music that you guys are punching people over? All right, I love the Wallows. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, it's the Wallows. This is chill music. This is nun night music. Speaking of concert etiquette, where the fuck did it go? Sorry, Grandma. I feel like people nowadays are just ruthless. And some of you are about to be really mad at me. But it is the younger generation. I think a lot of it has to do with a lack of respect, but also a lack of experience. Maybe this is a lot of people's first show. Maybe before COVID, they were like 15 and never went to a concert before in their life, and now they're like 18 years old and going to their first show. Maybe it's people going buck wild because they haven't been out in a while and this is like their first experience. Maybe it's people's first time drinking out in public because maybe they're newly 21. Maybe they've never been exposed to shows or concerts, different venues, I don't know. But there is a difference, okay? But whenever someone's like acting like an asshole at a show, you can kind of tell if this is their first rodeo or not, okay? To give context to the rest of the video, I feel like it's important that I show you my concert tier list. These are just some of the shows that I've been to. I couldn't fit everything on here. Strokes, S tier. Fucking love them. Enjoy and the Garden Twins. Even if you're not a fan, you have to see them live. 21 Pilots. I will shit on my 21 Pilots era until the day I die. Thank God I never got a 21 Pilots tattoo like I wanted. But to this day, I will say they put on a hell of a show for like $30. So Kanye West all the way at the bottom because he came on like an hour late and then he left because it's the day that Kim K got held up at gunpoint in France. But anyway, unfortunately, I had to put Billie Eilish towards the bottom of the list, not because of her or her performance. She's incredible. She's amazing. It's because of the goddamn crowd. The crowd was the worst crowd I've ever been in my entire life. I've never gotten so shoved. I've never gotten so injured. I was worried for my safety, my breathing at that show. I had to let a shorter girl in front of me and kind of like create a barrier for her because her chest was getting so crushed she couldn't breathe. I remember you. I hope your ribs are okay. And this sucked. And this was back in June 2019. However, she was just gaining a huge audience and a lot of fans, and I was like one of the oldest fans there, and I was like 20 at the time. The Strokes, which is a rock band. Rock bands are known for going crazy and wild and jumping and dancing and screaming, and I'm used to that. Pushing is inevitable, especially at the Barclays Center. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. And you probably shouldn't be in the pit if you don't want to get pushed. At some point, it just becomes like a huge wave. And you know what I'm talking about when the pit just like sways from one side to another and you gotta keep your balance. Prior to the show, I remember I helped a girl in the bathroom because she wanted to charge her phone, but she also wanted to pee. And I was like, I'll watch your phone. I'll make sure no one steals it. you go pee. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. We're all complimenting each other. She's telling me it's her first show. All is well. I'm like, cool. Made a little girlfriend in the bathroom. That's what the girlies do, you know? The Strokes start playing. We're a couple songs in. It gets rowdy. It's getting crazy. People are getting pushed around. And then my boyfriend gets a drink thrown at him, and some girl is screaming at him because he pushed her accidentally, because the entire crowd is swaying back and forth. And it's Miss Phone Charger Girl from the bathroom. I was like, I thought we were fucking friends. And she throws a drink at him. She's like, what the fuck, asshole? As if it's his fault. This is inevitable. It's going to happen. And because it was her first show, she just didn't know. That is not how you act towards someone. I went to a Tame Impala concert a few months ago, and the people behind us were annoyed that we were dancing. We weren't anywhere near them. We weren't touching them. We weren't bumping into them. For the love of God, please shake some ass. The Tame Impala concert was one of the most beautiful concerts I've ever been to. Some of the best fun dancing music ever. I literally got sciatic nerve pain for the next 3 months because I danced so hard at that show. And people were mad that we were dancing. What the hell? I'm gonna say it. They were younger than us. Oh my God, these bitches are so embarrassing for dancing and have a good time. If you're not gonna shake ass at Tame Impala, then what are you doing? But then I went with my best friend G to an Enjoy concert, and it was crazy, the most intense pit I've ever been in, crazy moshing, and we got shoved down, and guess what? They picked us right back up immediately. Everyone stopped around us to help pick G and I and like another person up. That's what you're supposed to do. And we had an amazing time. I myself am not like a Harry Styles stan, but I respect the hustle because it looks like it's a full-time job. But I've been seeing a lot of posts of people going overseas, going to England, seeing his shows there, and people being afraid to speak so that no one can hear their American accent because people are bullying them and being mean to them for buying tickets for like his London shows, which is so strange to me.
From?
North Carolina.
Where are you from?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like I said, not a Harry Styles stan, but that's not very treat people with kindness, now is it, huh? Harry would be disappointed in you all. This is not to say that all young people at concerts are shitty, okay? I'm not gonna just shit on young people. I need to stop saying shitting so much. Not all young people are shitty. I'm acting like I'm 64. I went to the Philly Clairo concert a few days ago, and me and my boyfriend were like the oldest ones there, but we had an amazing time. The crowd was amazing. People were throwing roses on stage for her. They had signs that said like happy birthday to her album, no weird shouting, no excessive phone recording type of thing. People were respectful. And out of all the videos I've seen of her performing, I've never seen her look so happy, and like she was so appreciative of the crowd, and she made that so well known that she was having an amazing time. And like I said, my boyfriend and I were like the oldest people in that room, other than like the dads in the corner. Okay. And it's not just the crowds disrespecting one another, okay? It's the crowds also disrespecting the artists. For example, I'll talk about Clairo again. Back at her last tour, Clairo was singing a song about sexual harassment called Blouse, and it was literally about feeling like being objectified and sexualized, and people were just catcalling her and screaming really gross things to her on stage, like mommy, and it was just the most inappropriate thing to say at the time, and it was so rude, and it made her emotional for shows following.
You're so hot!
It must feel so dehumanizing for the artist. Mitski situation. Earlier this year, Mitski released the following tweets. Hello, I wanted to speak with you about phones at shows. They're part of our reality. I have mine on me all the time, and I'm not against taking photos at the show, though please no flash. But sometimes when I see people filming entire songs or whole sets, it makes me feel as though we are not here together. This goes for both when I'm on stage and when I'm an audience member at shows. I love shows for the feeling of connection, of sharing a dream and remembering that we have a brief, miraculous moment of being alive at the same time before we part ways. I feel I'm part of something bigger. When I'm on stage and look to you, but you are gazing into a screen, it makes me feel as though those of us on stage are being taken from and consumed as content instead of getting to share a moment with you. And then after this, Mitski faced some backlash. And you know what? I agree with her. I used to be a person who recorded and took photos the entirety of the show, and then I realized I wasn't actually enjoying the show and I was just looking through the screen the entire time, just for me to never return back to those videos or photos ever again, because first of all, it makes me too sad to look back on them. They're probably shitty in the first place. I just don't have to be taking photos or videos for a show that I paid so much money for. Funny enough, Julian Casablancas just posted a similar thing the other day on his Instagram about feeling like an object and to be taken advantage of when fans just want a photo and not make a human connection with you. Once again, it's just so dehumanizing. Kid Cudi, I fucking love Kid Cudi. I just saw a video of him on stage because he replaced Kanye West at the Rolling Loud Festival, and he was just getting obliterated with water bottles being thrown at him because people were mad that he wasn't Kanye West. What the fuck?
I will leave right now. Throw one more fucking thing on the stage and I will walk off. I'm not fucking playing. Don't fuck with me.
So sad, so dehumanizing, so disrespectful. And it's very difficult for these people to be able to speak out about these things because it's like, well, you have to be grateful. You're an artist. What do you expect? Instead of getting empathy from the people who are supposed to be fans of them. And it must suck being unhappy with your job and what is happening, and you can't even speak out about it without receiving backlash. There's like no easy way to ask people not to record your concert. There's no easy way to not ask people to shout things at you on stage. It might make the mood uncomfortable. It might make the audience uncomfortable. Shit, I would hate touring if I were them. And newsflash, a lot of artists actually do hate touring, and a lot of times they're kind of open about it. And that just may contribute to the suckiness feeling of these shows. You can fully tell if a person wants to be there or not. Billie Eilish has been pretty open about how difficult her first few tours were on her mentally and physically, not seeing daylight for days at a time, having too aggressive of a schedule to the point where she was physically injuring herself and needed to get physical therapy, needed to sit down for shows. It was really tough on her. Small intimate shows that are spaced out seem to do the best, and touring and show after show after show, especially festivals and in the summer and just non-stop, it truly takes a toll on the artist, and I think us as fans can really tell. And this isn't anything new. For once, I will not blame Gen Z or Gen X, all right? I Googled artists who hate touring, and I got this article, 9 bands who hate touring. The Beatles, the fans, it just got to be very overwhelming. Talking Heads, David Bowie, and our girl Kate Bush, who is so terrified of flying, and she will never perform again in the US because of that, crying that none of us will ever see Running Up That Hill or Babushka live. I could do a whole video about the horrors of tour life as if I've lived it, because tour looks so fun to me and I'm so interested in it. Like whenever it's like, come take a tour of my tour bus and come look at the day in my life while I'm on tour. I'm so interested because I'm like, what happens? What happens? It looks so fun. Like, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a groupie. I want to be on your tour bus. I want to be there with you. But the way that artists describe it is that it's grueling and not enjoyable. Anyway, if that's a video that you guys want to see in the future, I'll do my research. Somebody's got to take me on tour with them so that I can see what it's all about. Artists are also canceling tours more than ever before. And usually it's COVID related, like someone on our team got COVID, cannot perform, so sorry, we have to cancel. But I feel like more and more it's coming up that artists are actually canceling their shows because of mental health reasons. Shawn Mendes just canceled the rest of his tour today because of mental health reasons. Summer Walker has done that in the past, Celine Dion. And do not get me wrong, I am so incredibly happy that artists are realizing when to take a break, because the worst thing that you can do is taking it too far and pushing yourself too far physically and mentally. But I feel like it's at such a more rapid rate and much more than ever before that artists are canceling their tour. So it's interesting how COVID and not playing for a while could have potentially added to that, or if maybe celebrities are realizing like, shit, I took a break for a while, I can do it again because I know it was good for me. I try to look online for like concert etiquette rules, so that I could give you guys some tips or whatever. But it all seems like they're all for children or for like symphony and orchestra concerts, which we're not talking about right now. So anyway, here's Nicki Nasty's concert etiquette guide, all right? If you guys have never been to a concert, if you guys are going to your first concert, or maybe you've been an asshole at concerts in the past, here's the most official set of rules ever, because I made the set of rules. Like I said before, you don't really need to record anything, like at all. You will never look back at it. I can barely even look at the photos that I took at concerts because it makes me so sad. The post-concert depression is still so real years later. Enjoy the moment. Take one photo, one video if you must. You will enjoy the shows so much more. Don't yell weird things, okay? No one likes you if you do that. I was with a friend at the time whose boyfriend at the time screamed at the top of his lungs at a Mac DeMarco concert, an opener. Bush did 9/11. I don't know you. Stay the hell away from me. I did move away from him because I was like, you're so weird for that. You are just drawing attention to yourself. Oh, poor me. It's not about me for like 5 seconds. For the love of God, dance. As long as you have room and you're not pushing anyone, the artist feeds off of the energy in the crowd. So you are gonna get what you give. Shake ass at any opportunity possible. Okay? These are words that I live by. You can shimmy forward at a concert without being an asshole. And people can shimmy forward by you without you being an asshole. People are gonna shimmy forward to the front. People are gonna lie and be like, oh, my friend's up there. You don't need to be mean. You will never see these people again. And if you're one of those people, you can politely ask. You don't need to shove, okay? At the end of the day, it is a concert. Some things are just gonna happen. And people wanting to push to the front is inevitable, but it is how you do it and how you handle it. Be nice to the opener. Phoebe Bridgers just said something. If your friend talks during the opener set, break up with them. See? Phoebe Bridgers knows. Pick up people when they're down, like physically, you know? For example, me and my friend fell, we got picked right back up. That's what you're supposed to do. And for like heavier rock shows, punk shows, that's usually like the standard. Usually people are very, very kind there. The meanest shows I've been to are like the soft music kind of shows, you know what I mean? Billie Eilish. And don't start fights, okay? It's just so unnecessary. It makes everyone so uncomfortable. It makes things so weird. Venues, you guys thought you were gonna get away scotch-free. No, I'm gonna talk shit on you guys. I'm pretty disappointed with venue security as of late. My friend got like ripped up by security because he like pushed and shoved into her and she said something to him and he like threatened to kick her out. Like what the hell is that all about? I was at a concert recently and the artist kept asking for help, kept asking security to come and help people who were passed out in the crowd, and no one was coming. Confiscating things that are not supposed to be confiscated. Like my friend got a necklace taken away while other people got in with like a full ass weapon. It doesn't make any sense. I do, however, think that security's loads could be hella lightened if people weren't passing out as much. How can we resolve this? I don't know. Venues allowing water. I understand water is a money maker. I get it. But how redundant is it that you expect this whole crowd of people to be buying water, which first of all, they're not, because they're all just going to be buying alcohol anyway. And then security gives out a bunch of free water once people start passing out. It just doesn't fucking make any sense. I understand the issue with water bottles potentially, like cleaning them up or people throwing them on stage or people throwing water. I get it. It can be an issue. I don't know the solution. That's not my job. I'm just proposing ideas, okay? I feel like venues could do a similar thing where they allow empty water bottles to come in like an airport and like having a station to fill up your water bottle, or even giving out mini water bottles, as not eco-friendly as that sounds. Too many people are getting dehydrated, passing out from heat, exhaustion, being on drugs, or drinking too much, which is just a reality of concerts, and venues know that. And it's not acceptable for so many venues to still not have a proper water situation. I feel like especially at like hot music festivals that are happening right now, this could help so much. I personally don't think that it should be the artist's responsibility to have to look out into the crowd and be paying attention if people are passing out or if they need help. I just don't feel like that is part of their duty or their job. And I think that load has kind of been put onto them. I think it also adds like a shit ton of stress. What if you just don't notice someone and you're just too late, you know? In that type of situation, I just wish that there was more security being able to like oversee something like that, or people having easier access to water, you know? I'm so much more laid back when it comes to concerts nowadays. I usually stand in the back. I don't get there super early anymore. I don't camp out. I don't really care if I get a good picture or video anymore. Concerts used to be like a stressor for me, and once I just kind of like let that shit go and went with the flow, it just got to be a lot more fun for me. So the more I talk about this all, I'm just like sounding more and more like the dads that I was talking about, like that are in the corner. No one puts baby in a corner. Thank you so much for taking a little listen in today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any more video essays that you want to hear from me, I am always down to take suggestions. If you guys like this video, please make sure that you leave it a like because it helps me out so much. Also, make sure to leave a comment about any concerts that you've been to, positive experiences, negative experiences, favorite shows ever, favorite artists, bands that are must-sees in person. I want to hear it all. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to be nasty. If not, you're disgusting. Also, make sure you have your bell notifications on so you know every single time I post, or else we're gross. If you want to follow me on my other social media, Instagram, Twitter, Depop, Spotify, it's just at Nicole Rafiee. And if you want to follow me on my TikTok, it's at Nicki Nasty. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go slide into my favorite artist DMs and ask if I can be a groupie on tour. It's for video research, okay? It's for research for my job, okay? It's for research. Okay, goodbye.